I have been a nurse for 23 years. For the past 12 years, I've been a school nurse. My nickname is Peppermint Patty. It's amazing how a peppermint can cure so many things. In the past 12 years, I've had the pleasure of watching many of my students grow up, graduate from high school, and go on with their lives. I've also had the sorrow of attending the funeral of one of my students. A peppermint couldn't fix him. The CDC estimates that there are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths every year. The National Institute of Health has stated that college students are prone to binge drinking, that about 40% of them reported binge drinking within the last 2 weeks. In the past year, I have known 3 people who have died from alcohol and drug-related reasons. One was my student. The other 2 were parents of our students. No one noticed when they stopped breathing. So how does alcohol hurt you? Well, it can hurt you in many ways, but the main way that it affects you is when you drink too much too fast. It can affect the part of your brain that controls breathing, your heart rate, and your gag reflex. Alcohol can stop your heart from beating. The equivalent of 6 to 8 drinks in 1 hour can be a fatal dose for a small woman or somebody that is drinking the first time. Perhaps you're at a party and your best friend is challenged to drink a bottle of schnapps and they drink the whole thing down. They may consume a fatal dose of alcohol before they pass out. Another way that alcohol can harm you is by causing a really low blood sugar. A really low blood sugar can lead to seizures, which can lead to brain damage, and that can also lead to death. So what can you do? Well, the first thing you can do is you can create a plan. You can find a responsible adult, preferably your parent, and come up with a plan. The plan would say that your parents agree to rescue you when you call with no questions asked. You can talk about it later. So what do you do if you're at a party and you notice that someone is drinking a lot too fast? Well, just beware of their signs that they may have consumed too much alcohol. We've seen the ones on the TV shows, the slurred speech, the glassy eyes, the dilated pupils. Well, those are early signs of intoxication. Emergency signs would include confusion, unable to wake the person if you pinch them, shake them, or shout at them. Having a seizure. Or their skin becomes cold, clammy, bluish, or pale. Or their breathing slows down to less than 8 breaths a minute or greater than 10 seconds between each breath. So, what do you do if you come across somebody and they've had too much to drink? Well, don't assume that they're just going to sleep it off. If you can wake them, you still need to protect them, because as long as they have alcohol in their stomach, it's still being absorbed by their body and going to their brain. If you come across somebody and they're laying here on their back, you don't want to leave them on their back, because when your gag reflex has been numbed by alcohol, you don't vomit the same way. It just comes out and goes right down inside your lungs. So if you're going to position someone in the correct position, I want you to think about the drama queen position. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bend his arm at a 90-degree angle with his palm face up. Then we're going to take his other arm and lay it gently across his chest. I'm going to take the leg that's closest to myself and bend it at the knee. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. You can do it the reverse direction also. Okay, and then I'm going to roll him gently on his side. I'm going to take that arm that was on his chest and place it palm down under his face and tilt his head back So in case he vomits, it will come out of his mouth and he won't choke. You'll need to prop something up behind the person. You could use your backpack, a coat, a sleeping bag, or push them up against the wall so they'll stay in this position. You need to keep watch over them. If you can't rouse them and they're showing the signs of alcohol poisoning, you need to be brave and you need to call 911. You can save a life. You can make a plan and have that plan in place before you go out, before you get in trouble. You can position somebody correctly on their side to prevent choking. And you can be brave and you can call 911. Don't assume someone is sleeping it off. This is my friend Austin. This was taken September 21st, 2007 at homecoming. Exactly 1 year later, Austin was gone. Don't let the light go out on someone you love.